If you've looked into zinc for morning wood and erection quality, you've probably already seen the claims. Zinc boosts testosterone. Zinc helps libido. Take zinc, problem solved. Here's what almost nobody tells you. Most men who try this get zero results. Not because zinc doesn't work, because they're doing one specific thing wrong, and it has nothing to do with whether they're taking it consistently or whether they're patient enough. It's a detail buried in the fine print of the research that the supplement industry has no incentive to tell you about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that detail is and how to check in under 30 seconds whether the zinc sitting in your cabinet right now is actually capable of doing anything. Most people know zinc as the immune system mineral. Take it when you feel a cold coming on. That's true, but it's a small fraction of what zinc actually does in the body. Zinc is required directly inside the testes for testosterone production. Specialized cells called Leydig cells use zinc as a building block in that process. Without enough of it, your body cannot manufacture testosterone at its normal capacity, no matter how healthy everything else is. And testosterone is the hormone behind that overnight signal morning wood that tells you your hormonal and vascular systems are functioning properly. So zinc deficiency genuinely can show up as a weaker, less frequent signal. That part is real. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a study published in the journal Nutrition that tracked young, healthy men and deliberately restricted their zinc intake for 20 weeks. Their testosterone dropped by 75%. 3/4 of their testosterone gone purely from cutting zinc out of the diet. The same body of research looked at the reverse scenario too. In older men who were already deficient, zinc supplementation nearly doubled their testosterone levels. Doubled. That sounds like an open and shut case, right? Zinc clearly matters for testosterone, which clearly matters for morning wood. So you go buy a bottle of zinc, start taking it, and nothing happens. That's the experience an enormous number of men have. And it's not because the science is wrong. It's because of the detail I mentioned at the start. That detail is coming up next, and once you see it, you'll understand exactly why some men get real results from zinc and others waste months getting nothing. Here it is. Almost every study showing testosterone improvements used a specific form of zinc bisglycinate or zinc picolinate, highly absorbable forms. The zinc sitting in most cheap multivitamins and budget supplements is zinc oxide. Zinc oxide's bioavailability, meaning how much of it your body can actually absorb and use, is under 10% in some research comparisons. Read that again. You could take zinc oxide every single day for months and absorb almost none of it. You'd see the word zinc on the label, assume you're covered, and never understand why nothing changed. This is the detail nobody mentions. The form on the label determines whether the supplement does anything at all, and most products on store shelves use the cheap, poorly absorbed version because it costs manufacturers less to produce. It's not your consistency. It's not your patience. It's the bottle. There's a second part to this too, and it matters just as much. There's also an upper limit. Going past 40 milligrams of elemental zinc daily for extended periods can create a copper deficiency, which causes its own separate problems. So this isn't a more is better situation either. There's a second part to this too, and it matters just as much. There's also an upper limit. Going past 40 milligrams of elemental zinc daily for extended periods can create a copper deficiency, which causes its own separate problems. So this isn't a more is better situation either. Once you've got the right form, timing matters too. Take it in the evening with food. This lines zinc availability up with the overnight window when testosterone production is most active, and food reduces the digestive sensitivity some men get from zinc on an empty stomach. On timeline, most men in the research noticed sleep improvements first, within 1 to 2 weeks. Morning wood and libido changes typically showed up around the 3 to 4 week mark, sometimes longer depending on how deficient you started out. This isn't an overnight fix. But with the right form, at the right dose, taken consistently, it's one of the cheapest, most evidence-backed places to start. Here's the bottom line. Zinc genuinely can help restore morning wood and erection quality, but only if you're taking a form your body can actually absorb at a real dose, and only if you were running low in the first place. Get any one of those wrong and you'll think zinc doesn't work, when really, you never gave it a fair shot. If you want the exact form, dose, and timing for zinc plus 4 other supplements with the strongest research behind them for this exact issue, I put together a free guide that lays it all out in one place. It's called the Morning Wood Stack. Completely free, links in the description. Takes 30 seconds to grab. If this saved you from buying the wrong bottle, drop a comment below. Even just didn't know that. It helps this video reach other men making the same mistake right now. Subscribe for the next one: magnesium and the sleep connection most men have never heard of. See you there.